We on? Are we on? Are you with it? Are you ready? Because it's about to go down. Another edition of a wild episode, so stay tuned, cuz. Take it away, Toks.
What's going on, everybody? It's me, it's the B-E-A-S-T, the girl's favorite podcaster, and this is another edition, another episode of Darkness with a Ginger Hue. And we wouldn't be able to do this show without the man with the plan. His name is Slang Hugh.
I thought I was the rapper. This guy's a poet, and now we know it. See what I did there?
Hells yeah. Hells yeah.
Greetings and salutations, everybody. We back at it like a craftmatic and a crack addict with a bad habit. You know what I mean? Let's get it in.
Damn, you hit that one. Been
trying to come up with them, and bam!
Hit it. Yeah, we are back again. And life is good in the world, man. Life is good. I mean, we have a few topics to kind of explain and elaborate on. So, sit tight, folks. It's going to be a good one. But of course, like every episode, I would like to know, Slang, what have you done to better yourself today? Because this is a new segment. Well, it's not even new. We just named it. Better than yesterday. Mm-hmm. So what did you do, buddy? What did you do?
You know what? This is going to be an interesting one because we were talking about something before we started recording, and I'm going to use that to inspire my answer. I ignored what doesn't serve me. And I say that, and what I mean by that is a lot of times, especially in today's society, we got people walking around angry and upset at the world because they think the world is against them. They think the world is trying to conspire to prevent them from success or their version of it, or what have you. Or they think that, this person's a hater and that person's a hater and da-da-da-da-da-da. And I'm not even here to say that can't be true to a degree at times. There are people that don't like people. There are people that don't like me. There's people that don't like you. There's people I don't like, even though I don't conspire against them. But there are people out there that would not like you to the point where they want some form of harm done to you. I'm not physically, financially, mentally, whatever. There's people that work obia. There's people that do voodoo. There's people that prey on your downfall. And side note, obia and voodoo are not bad things, but I just use that because we can understand. So
there's black magic and then there's white magic. We won't. That's another show.
It's still
another
magic.
show.
It's all magic.
It's still magic.
Another show. But I chose to ignore. For quite a while, I've been choosing that, but it's a practice. It's a continuous practice. You continuously have to choose to ignore negativity or people that are negative or people that you think are trying to bring you down. Because the truth is, much like any, like a joke that's being played on you or somebody wants to get you upset, it only works when it works.
Facts.
So them wanting to bring you down can only be successful if you allow them to know that you're being brought down. Or you're brought down. Bullies only care when the person being bullied allows themselves to be bullied. But the moment you stop and punch the bully back in his face, you might still get your ass kicked. But I guarantee you the bully might think twice the next time he tries to bother you. I say that to say, ignore these things. There are no haters. It's about what you are going to do with your time on this planet. What are you going to do? Are you going to allow them to win? Are you going to let them get you out, trick you out of your spot, as the phrase goes? I didn't allow that. And I refuse to allow that. If anybody's tricking me out of my spot, it's going to be this guy. And God knows I've done that way too many times. But that's another story for another day.
Wise words from brother Slang right now. Brother Slang.
That might be another segment.
Bringing it down with Brother Slang. Wow. Dr. And you know what?
Omar.
What? I see what you did there.
You like it?
Bruh. I see what you did there. Dr. Umar, not Omar. Umar. Nah, never mind. We're gonna get there. Another day. But yeah, you know what? To feed off of that, I totally understand. And I like the bully situation that you said. You know what? Because again, a bully only feeds off what you show them. If you're not affected by their bullying, it's not bullying. They'll try to find someone else. You know, they might antagonize until, and if they don't get anything out of you, it's not working.
It's not fun.
Carry on with yourself. Yeah, they give up. So, you know, it is what it is. On my end,
weaker. And if you're not weaker,
yeah, exactly. And that goes with the universe.
That's a fact.
Not just bully, the universe. If the universe,
100%.
If you're down and you continue to just stay down, the universe will just beat up on you. So yeah, it's time to get up, man. No, man, I can't do it. Yeah, okay. That's when people get sick, depressed. You know, they start eating bad, drinking, doing drugs or whatever. You know, they kind of isolate themselves and they just they look worse. It takes somebody or some type of feeling to change that. And again, everybody has it in them to do that, right? I've been in that spot before. You've probably been in that spot before.
And I want to add, actually, you guys just brought it up before you answer the question. Just put it to you like a bully is not only, it's not a person all the time. A bully can be a circumstance. It could be a situation. It could be that bottle of alcohol that you cannot stop drinking. It could be that drug that you cannot stop doing. It could be that attention that you cannot stop seeking. The bully is the person who's beating you. Sorry, not the person. The thing. The
situation.
Person, place, thing, situation that is beating you down, and you just keep on taking it and taking it and taking it like your P. Diddy. Apply that how you may.
Take that.
Apply that how you may.
Oh man, yeah, it's yeah, and you're right. You're 100% right. It's not even the person. Sometimes, again, could be the weather. Sometimes it could be your car. Just keeps on breaking down and breaking down and breaking. Sometimes it's Sometimes sometimes it is the bus. Sometimes you're missing that bus.
And you don't want to save your money to buy a car. Like it's what?
Yeah, there's always something. You have to sit there and just figure it out. That's it. Just figure it out. Man. Yeah, man. Again, don't get defeated. And again, everybody has their trials and tribulations and so forth. It's up to you to figure it out. That's all. Again, it's not easy sometimes. It might take a week, a month, a year. But if you keep it on, you definitely get by. For sure. And the people who are truly invested in your life and your success, they'll see that. And they'll give you the, hey, way to go, or hey, good job, pat you on that back, whatever, right? Or maybe that lovely lady or lovely man comes into your life and said, hey, you're looking kind of blah 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 right now, you know. So yeah, that's what we're doing. For me, answering that question, what did I do to better myself today? I took again. The weekend was very quiet because my daughter was she's with her mother this weekend because she was participating in a Sundance. So she wanted to see experience the culture of the indigenous culture out there. I'm like, okay, cool. So I was like, what am I going to do? And sure enough, I'm not even going to kid you. I was about to jump on a plane and head off to T-Dot. I was ready to go. I mean, I'm like, yeah, let's do it. I mean, actually, I was going to say anywhere, and I was trying to figure out where to go. So I saw Toronto. I'm like, yeah. Then I saw $800. I'm like, no. And the only reason why I said no, I would have, but I know it's going to be hectic out there because of the World
Yeah,
Cup. I didn't
yeah.
even realize until after. I'm like, yeah, these prices are going to be ridiculous
That's what it is.
because,
Yeah, I forgot about that.
right? Yeah, and everything. And I'm like, okay. Then I'm like, oh, maybe go to Montreal. I try to hit up my friend in Montreal. No answer. I'm like, okay, maybe go the other way. BC. Didn't get anybody in BC. And I'm like, okay. I have a friend in Saskatchewan, and they said, oh, they're doing graduation for the kids. I'm like, no problem, cool. And I talked to my friend in Calgary. I said, let me go. And I'm there like, for the price of going in a span of a weekend, it's not worth it really,
Mm.
right? If I planned it earlier or if I knew earlier, it would have been a better
Yeah,
choice.
yeah.
But yeah, it was not feasible. I had to be responsible for the situation. So I stopped and said, okay, let me just stay at home and figure out things. So I sat down. I'm like, I mean, the place I have, the office, was looking kind of tardy. So I got that cleaned up, rearranged the office and the bedroom and whatnot. And as I told you, I got printing again. So I needed a new space for the printers to be instead of where I had it to. So I
Mhm.
again rearranged that and bought. Actually, my stuff just got delivered. It's outside right now. So after the show, I'll build that and put that into place right now. So really, just organizing my place, just
Mhm.
organizing the place. Because again, when you feel good about your spot, things happen.
Mhm.
Creativity happens, energy changes, and so forth. Right? They say cleanliness is the closest to godliness, as they say. But
Mhm.
again, that's another term of whatnot. So yeah, I did all that. Wanted to get myself a pedicure. I'm like, okay, cool. And then during that time, as I said from the last show, I said wanted to start reading books, and then I got myself a book to read.
Oh,
So
nice, nice.
yeah, that's one of 5 books that was recommended for me to start reading. So I said I'd start that and keep myself in a positive mindset. So yeah, that was me for the weekend. So I'm very happy, very healthy things. My vitamin routine is working well. Eating proper with the factor meals. I mean, I don't spend as much on takeout. I'm eating decent meals, so everything's coming up Millhouse for me. Rolling that dice. Keep on
Coming up,
going.
Millhouse.
So,
I never. Oh, is that a Simpsons thing?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay. I never heard that one
Everything's
before.
coming up Millhouse. That has stuck with me for like 20 years.
Uh,
I don't know
uh,
why. I mean, it was us. Millhouse was having a good day, and I was like, "Hey, everything's coming up, Millhouse." I'm like, "Yeah." I think he got a date with Lisa. And said, "Yep, you heard it. Everything's coming up, Millhouse." I'm like, "Okay, I like that. I like that." So it just stuck with me. So
Millhouse.
that's something I go to from time to time. But yeah,
Uh,
I mean, again, I'm just when you're in, like you just said, when you're in that good aura, good vibe, you just keep filling that good vibe with positive things and it just keeps
mhm.
on going. It won't end, right? Unless,
Yeah,
something that's beyond your control ends
yeah.
it. Um, I think the only thing that was disturbing, we had tornadoes
Oh yeah.
in Winnipeg. Yeah, we had a
Mm.
couple of tornadoes. We had a tornado watch that was happening, and I was at work. This was, I think, probably the Thursday. I think it was a Thursday, Wednesday or Thursday. It started. We got the warnings on the phone to the point
Mhm.
where we were getting. I think on my work phone, I had about 45 warning acknowledgments, those emergency things, and then my personal phone again, probably half that. So I have like 50 different warnings for these tornadoes. I'm like, oh, really going to be that bad? I'm like, nah, Winnipeg's not going to have this. Sure enough, they went to town, bro. Um, they had hail the size of golf balls coming in, wind ripping up trees. People's cars were destroyed, destroyed. One of my staff had their sunroof destroyed because of the damage of the hail. It
Wow.
was ridiculous. Trees just ripped off, hitting windows, hitting doors. I was at home when it really came down, and I was hearing somebody banging the doors. I'm like, "Yo, who's up?" Like, I'm like, I rent outside. I was like, "Yo, guys, what's going?" I'm like, no one's upstairs. I'm like, who's banging it? And I look outside. I'm like, oh crap. Starting it real quick. I'm like, nah, man. I'm staying in the basement until this passes over. That's crazy.
Can't blame
That
you.
stuff is crazy. Man, that weather is shocking. Then you had people taking pictures of the actual funnel in the area. I'm like, yo, you guys are crazy. How are you gonna stand outside and take pictures of this tornado that whether it's close to you or not, it's hell out there. You've seen the movie Twister or whatnot. Them shows, those are not fun. I'm not no storm chaser.
I don't want
That's
to.
crazy. I'm
I don't
just
want to hazard a guess, but were these people
yes,
of the? Thank
yes,
you.
yeah. They were. Hey, Bill, look at this. Hey, look. Wait, hey, take a video of it, buddy. Okay. Yeah, it
No
was
more
bad.
needs to be said, sir. It's the same type
Yeah,
of people that
but
might
hey,
go on a
they got their
safari.
shot.
They go on a
Yeah.
safari and put their
Yeah.
head in the mouth of a lion and all kind of thing. These guys are wild and
Hey, Ma, look at this.
ah, he ain't no harm. He's just a big old kitty cat.
Yeah.
Oh
Yo,
shucks,
man.
oh.
Oh, man. I joke, I kid. But yeah, man. Well, coming from one disaster to another disaster,
Where's he going?
the New York Knicks
Oh,
have won the NBA
it's a disaster.
championships. You heard it first. You heard it first. And I wasn't shocked again. I'm very, very happy that they've won it. A lot of people that I went to school with or have been in the trenches with this team is very happy that it has happened for them. Your take on this championship run for these Knickerbockers?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What's your take on that?
My take? Okay.
Yes.
So we talked about this last show in a bit. I didn't want San Antonio there. I wanted it to be selfishly my fellow Canadian, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander led Oklahoma City Thunder, but that didn't happen. San Antonio was the better team this year. When they got there, I was like, okay, I think they could win this whole thing because, all year it was like whoever wins the West probably wins the championship.
Mm-hmm.
The East is weak. But the Knicks were on their historical run, killing people. Like, since Atlanta took the 2-0 lead on them, it was like after that, they just dialed in and started Dextering, man, out there.
Yep.
Straight slaughter.
Yep.
So it was like okay, at bare minimum, this will be a good series. It'll be a good series. You got the young upstart team in San Antonio with the new quote unquote very disgruntled by this face of the league, Victor Wembanyama. And then you got the 53-year drought old guard of the New York Knicks that their fan base has been waiting on this forever, and it's one of the biggest, if not the biggest, market in sports, especially in North America. So it should turn out to be a good series, two good teams, and it didn't really disappoint despite the 4-1 series record. It didn't really disappoint because every game was down to the wire, like every single game. I am overall happy with the result. I think New York definitely deserved it. I'm glad they finally broke the drought. I also think, like I said on the last show, this is part of Victor's story to get over the hill. You can't just climb the hill as soon as you get success. No team has done that. New York had to go through it. This current New York roster had to go through it last year. The Oklahoma City Thunder, the year before that, they had to lose and then come back. And it happens to every champion. You got to lose to learn to come back. So I'm happy with the run. I don't know if New York still exists. New York City still exists because I'm almost positive they tore it down to the nubs by now.
Yeah,
but
that's the disaster part I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know.
I saw clips.
That's the human tornado that's gonna go through the streets.
Well, yeah. Wow.
Yeah. I told you, man. I should be out there getting my TV, bro.
I'm like, wow. I saw again headlines. I didn't want to see it, but I saw headlines. Uh, uh, Fans light up a school bus in the
What?
aftermath
Oh
of
wow!
winning
Oh
the
wow! Oh wow!
school bus. I'm like,
Oh wow!
yo, what are you doing? You're that happy you want to destroy your city? Come on, guys. I can understand if you lost, because I know I think Vancouver did that in the hockey playoffs. They went off and destroyed the city. I mean, they took down light poles and turned over cop cars and whatnot. They did a lot, but you guys won. You guys should be hugging, kissing, whatever. I'm
I
telling
know.
you, there's going to be a lot of babies going to be conceived that day for sure.
Yeah,
Boom.
yeah. When I see a guy say,
What?
"Hope my daughter's not gonna be angry when I call her Anna Noby."
Wow. Beautiful, beautiful. What I like though, I saw a lot of the media stuff, and they were showing on TikTok and even on just websites, the old guard and the new guard. So I think there was a video they showed on TikTok of guys like John Starks and Walt Frazier and all these guys who have
Yeah,
been in
yeah,
there and whatnot. But the best picture I saw was a picture of Spike Lee on the first day that he bought his season
yeah, yeah.
ticket.
I posted that myself.
And
I
then
posted that.
right
That was
beside him was himself when they
yeah,
won. I'm like,
that was
wow,
dope.
they won.
And day
They
one,
won. I'm like,
yes,
yo,
that was
that is
dope.
the dopest pick that you can put in this to sum it all up. Again, he deserves it just as much as the rest of the players. He's
Absolutely.
been loyal. He's been in there talking smack. I mean, the whole Reggie Miller thing that he was going through with the choking and all that. I mean, he's been in it. He is New York, right?
Hmm.
He's that ambassador. So I'm like, yeah, he might even buy himself a ring. You never know. So he has the money to do it. So why not? But yeah, it was nice to see the Knicks win. I think it was well deserved. Like I said, for all the old heads that have been watching the game, seeing the battle, seeing what they've gone through, they deserve the championship. Now, two questions for you. One, do you think they can repeat? And two, does that team stay the same after that championship?
New York, you thinking? Or New York? You're talking about?
Yeah.
I,
Can they do it again? Or was that a magical run? Like the Raptors magical run?
see the difference for me in the Raptors is that, as far as I remember, only in the final was their key players hurting on the opposition.
Okay.
They're way up
Yeah.
there. They played Giannis. They played Embiid. They played they played the stars of the other teams, and they
Mm-hmm.
played Curry. But Clay and Kevin Durant are hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So, which still that's part of the game. So I don't think that depletes their
Of course. You
championship.
have a roster. You have a full roster.
But having said that, with the New York Knicks, it's that happened to them, but with every level. Embiid wasn't 100%. Halliburton's out. Jason Tatum wasn't 100%. He's out for a couple of games there. So the East was significantly weaker as well. Which as they say, to get a ring in any sport, there has to be some luck as well as preparation.
True.
Um,
Very true.
so I don't think that they could win a back to back as currently constructed. I don't think so, especially with these guys coming back next year.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, again, things can happen. Giannis is on his way out of Milwaukee. Does he end up? Because New York is one of the spots that they were talking about. But does he end up in?
Yeah, but they would have to lose somebody.
Right. So still to your question, no, not as currently constructed do I think that they could win again. But also what I'm saying is if Giannis goes somewhere in the East, that makes them an instant contender depending on where he goes. And then that also again significantly decreases their chances of winning a back to back. I also don't think because I don't think they would have beat OKC, a fully healthy OKC in those finals. I don't think they would have beat them. I don't even think San Antonio would have beat them. So, but I definitely don't think they could have beat OKC. So I don't see them winning a championship. I don't see them necessarily getting out of the East, all things considered. But I also don't necessarily see them beating a Western team, even San Antonio again, if they had to face them again, because I feel like San Antonio grew from this.
Okay. Okay. I mean, I totally agree. When it comes to them repeating, again, those runs are very magical and very, very, I won't say far fetched because I mean, some teams can do the run, but I don't think they can get over that hump. Like I said, the West, due to circumstances, I do believe that's why the Knicks were where they are right now. But again, the Knicks are still a team. They played through their adversity, their issues, and they made it work. So it's possible. I don't think it's going to happen with them repeating. Now, will the team stay intact because of big names being on the table? And again, money's again. It's two parts to this whole running a team thing. It's about the dollars in the bank accounts of the players and the actual chemistry of the team. So, do you take the risk and let go or trade a cat, or do you release a few of the guys that are role players to get a star like Giannis? Again, to each their own. I don't think they should. I think the best option for Giannis is actually going to Toronto. That's just my view.
Mm-hmm.
They love him in Toronto, and with his um, Greek background and the fact that again Toronto is very very multicultural. I mean, I think they even held. I think when he was there, because I know a few of my Greek friends there, he was staying back and he talked to the Greek community that was at the game. So again,
Mm-hmm.
Giannis is a big name, and again, he is. I mean, is it for sure that he's leaving? I'm going to assume yes.
Yeah,
Um,
they pretty much said that they're trying to get a deal good done, so I think so.
yeah, I
We'll
don't know
see.
if he'll go. I don't know if he'll go stay in the East though. I think he might try something on the West
All right, yeah, that would be
to go
stupid.
on to stay in the West or stay in the East. Sorry.
Yeah, if Milwaukee was to trade him, it would be stupid for them to trade him to the competition directly in the West. They did
Yeah.
that with Drew Holiday, and look what happened. Drew Holiday came and won a championship the same year, and that's
Again.
Drew Holiday. So what is Giannis going to do?
Yeah. Exactly. So I'm like, okay, okay, it is what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, um, so yeah, to again with all that, like I said, uh, congratulations to the Knicks. Uh, enjoy this; they deserved it. Will they do it again next year? Probably not. Maybe five again. Who knows? And will
Yeah,
the team stay together again? I don't think so. Because again, the funny thing is that OG has 2 rings. Can you believe that? OG has
yeah.
2 rings.
And I
That
didn't
is
remember
amazing.
that. I didn't remember he didn't play in the finals with us.
He was
I
hurt.
didn't.
Yeah, he
Yeah, I
was
didn't
hurt.
even remember that. That
He
that
was he was hurt. So
that
this
was
finals
interesting.
means a lot to him too, because he was a difference maker and he was an actual target. He
Yeah,
wasn't just a guy. It wasn't just a role player. He was actual a part of the process. So
yeah.
again, I shout out shout out to OG
You
for
won them a
that.
game. Never mind. You won
Yeah.
them a game.
Uh, Again, a lot of people don't realize that there's a whole bunch of different pieces to the puzzle of a championship, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not always the same. Yes, you have that same guy that's always going to lead your squad, but again, the Steve Kerrs, right? The John Paxsons, the Clyde Drexlers. That I mean, part of the Sam Cassells and even Big Shot Bob.
Mm-hmm.
These guys have done things to make sure that they win. And again, I like those guys because I don't think ego spoiled their act in their series, right? Um, I know Kerr always jokes about, man, this guy's gonna actually pass me the ball. He depended on me, Jordan, to hit the shot. I'm like, yeah, man. Yeah, he trusted you. And he didn't take it to his head. Same with Robert Ory. He's won multiple championships on multiple teams. I think he's the second winningest champion. right now,
Something
right
like
after
that.
right after
Bill Russell.
Bill Russell, because he has 7, I think.
I could believe that. That makes sense.
Yeah, I think he has
Yeah, that
7.
makes sense.
Yeah,
Trying to
yeah,
think if Kareem would have no, because Kareem probably didn't win until Magic got there, so they probably
yeah.
got him
Magic, his first year,
4.
Magic's first year, he's when he won. So I think he has 4.
Yeah, I think he has 4. So yeah,
And then
that's possible. Yeah,
right, but
7
again,
is
you
a
don't
lot.
see him. Yeah, of course, but you don't see him in the media saying, "Yeah, man, I'm Big Shot Bob, us man who got all the." No, he's just humble. I'm like, yeah, I respect that. I respect that for sure. Some people take it too far, take it too far, and they just they tarnish their legacy. And now, speaking of tarnishing their legacy, let me just yes, I'm going to do this again.
He's
I
working,
love the
bro. He's
soundboard.
working.
Oh, I love the segue. We're going to talk about, and I guess we've called this sports and edutainment. That's what we're calling this.
Edutainment.
That's what we can talk about. We're talking about a situation where I've heard, and I think a first take was handling this as well, is that LeBron James, your boy, LBJ, has stated that he will never put anybody before him in the GOAT conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Stephen A said, and I'm not going to quote it, but he said, if you are considered a GOAT of any sort in any type of era, you saying that, top stars never said that. Jordan would never say he's the GOAT. Larry Bird never said he was the GOAT. Curry never said he's the greatest shooter of all time, right? Kareem never said that. Magic, Will, these guys never said it. So why is LeBron thinking he is the GOAT? Why does he think he's the GOAT? And he has to tell people that he's the GOAT. What is he afraid of? And do you think it's true that, hey, because he says so, he is?
Oh, to answer your first question, the second question first, because he says so, he is. No, I don't. I don't think that makes you the goat.
That's what he thinks.
I don't know if he thinks that either. What? Here's the thing for me, right? And Stephen A is right in what he stated.
Mm-hmm.
I, however, don't know if that diminishes LeBron's case at all because he's saying he's the GOAT. What I don't understand really is I feel like LeBron can't win with some people. Not even feel like, I know he can't win with some people. Because what is ironic to me is if Jordan gets asked the question and Jordan shows ring hand, doesn't answer,
Mm-hmm.
but he shows like he 1, 2, 3, 4,
Yeah.
5, 6. People
Yeah.
are like,
Yeah. Yeah.
oh, Burn, see, take that, LeBron. See, you ain't no Chad, you ain't Jordan, you see. But if LeBron does that, it's he's cocky and how dare he and da da da. Mind you, the GOAT argument is always going to be very generational. It's always going to be who saw
This
what
is true.
when it happened. So I guarantee you that some of these young boys are like, yeah, LeBron, tell them, fam, you are the GOAT. We've been saying this. I don't think he's the GOAT. If anybody's asking me, I don't think he's the GOAT. I think he's number 2, which is an amazing accomplishment. I keep saying that. It's an amazing, I don't know, when guys are arguing to death for Jordan, that Jordan is the GOAT, and you'll still agree with them and they'll still try to argue you like, well, why can't LeBron be 2? I don't understand. That's fine. He's 2. I think LeBron makes these statements, or his team makes these statements in a defense mode type of thing. Is that a good thing? I don't know. But I totally think it comes from a space of similar to the space it comes from where he feels he has to win more championships, so he's going to go to different teams in order to do so. Because being compared to being number 2 isn't good enough for him. And then my thing is, and I'll even pose this to you, as a professional athlete, should being number 2 be satisfactory? should you want to be number two? Especially when you're at the level like a LeBron, like a Kobe, like these guys who have the potential and talent to be number one. Should we be like, yeah, you know what? Settle for two, bro. Just settle for two. Is that where we should be at with
Oh,
them?
okay. It's one thing. Okay, as a person that has played sports and thought he was the greatest, whatever, the ego gets the best of you sometimes. However, to to undermine people who are that good and better is an insult to your sport, to your profession. You're gonna tell me that no matter who you talk to, you still think you're better than them when in your heart you're really not. Don't fake the funk, man. On the nasty dunk. Come on now.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, he has to realize, hey, you know what? Jordan, 6 championships, 6 MVPs. Yeah, he's the greatest. Nothing is wrong with being number two. Do you have to accept it? No, but don't be going out there and telling people, yeah, I'm never going to put somebody above me in the GOAT conversation because I'm that guy. Nah, B. Nah.
I don't see the problem. I don't understand. The arrogance and the ego is what gets you to that point.
Yes.
It's not
so
like
if he retires today, though, if he retires today, is he still going to say that? Like, if he's not playing anymore as of today,
yeah,
does he still claim that he's still that guy? Like, he hasn't accomplished things that others have.
the only
right?
other is Jordan. Jordan's the only one he technically.
That's what I'm saying.
But here's the thing. This is why I even said it's generational. You can't tell these 30, 20 somethings that Jordan is the GOAT. They're not buying it. Worse than that, let me give you some even more of a reality check, which might appall you. In fact, maybe like 2-3 years ago. 2-3 years ago? Yeah, 2-3 years ago, me and my nephew were having a conversation about greatest basketball players. And I said, so who's your GOAT? Who do you think is the GOAT? You want to know who this little brother said?
Who do you say? Steph Curry.
You're not going to get... No. Give me another guess.
This is GOAT. How old is he?
You're not going to guess it. You're not. He's now 27.
Russell Westbrook.
One more. I'll give you one more guess, sir. Just one more.
I'm trying to think outside the box.
Yeah, I know.
I'm going to say Vince Carter. Vince Carter.
And those are two pretty good guesses. And I wouldn't have agreed with him, but they would have made more sense to me.
Yeah.
He said Paul George, sir. Paul George.
Paul Brookfoot George.
Paul Clipper Never Fitter George. Now, when I asked him why, and this is also the thing that I'm going to get into, the criteria of what your GOAT is. His answer was basically his skill set. Paul George could do everything on the court. He didn't care that he's never won a championship. That doesn't matter to him. He didn't care he's never won an MVP. That didn't matter to him. He didn't care he's never been a defensive player of the year. He didn't care that, I don't even know if Paul George has been in the finals. Never mind. He didn't care about that. What he cared about is basically what Paul George can do on the court and how he looked doing it. And when I looked at it from that perspective, I was like, okay, that makes sense to me. I actually kind of get what you're saying based on your criteria. Just like some people would say
him.
To him, what Kevin Durant is a GOAT because of all the things Kevin Durant could do. And Kevin Durant has an MVP trophy and a Finals MVP and he won a championship ring and a scoring title and all these things.
Yeah.
So I say that to say it's based on the criteria. LeBron saying if the problem is that LeBron is saying he's the GOAT, maybe I could rock with that because like you said, nobody else has done that. But if the problem is LeBron believing he's the GOAT, I think it's silly that we think that that's silly. I think
No,
that's
okay,
silly.
but true.
You
It's
think
not silly,
Kobe
and
Bryant didn't think he was a GOAT?
he never flat out said it, but I believe LeBron keeps on saying it though. LeBron
Yeah,
is
but
saying it.
and again, if the issue is LeBron saying it, then fine. Which I don't. I again, for me, that's not an issue because if that's what he believes, why shouldn't he be honest? It's whether or not he believes it that's the issue to me.
Okay. Well, again, then you're just the Lulu. Like people will be saying he's the Lulu then because you have
But I
to
don't think
again.
so. I don't think he's
I
delusional.
know what I'm saying is that on like you said, based on what criteria is he going to compare himself to the others? Now, if you're making some weird accusations that because I'm the top scorer in the league or in the history of the NBA, I'm like,
That's weird.
okay, how long has he played? There's people who were leading the league, averagely leading the league in a shorter period of time, still winning championships, still being defensive player defensive player of the year, still getting MVPs, still holding the team on their back. Again, just being straight. Because again, if he's basing his own criteria on his own criteria, then yeah, of course you're going to be the GOAT. That's like again saying, again, we've had this discussion where people think Prince is the GOAT. Why is he the GOAT? Based on this, whatever. Prince has never said he's the GOAT, but people say he's the GOAT because of this. I say, hey, Michael Jackson's the GOAT. And I'll give you the criterias on why. The thing is, though, if the GOAT conversation is put out there, there should be a consensus on why they are the GOAT. When you start bringing options, that's what I'm saying. There should be one. There has to be a consensus and understand that this is the reason you are the GOAT. Because now people, like you said, you talked about your nephew said, oh, well, I think Paul George is the GOAT. What's your criteria? And he gave you a whole bunch of different criteria that doesn't really equate to a GOAT. An official GOAT.
To us.
Yes, an official. I'm saying a global GOAT, right? I'm saying globally, that people will understand that, yeah, right? Just okay. We talk about we have the World Cup right now. People say Messi's the GOAT, or people say Ronaldo's the GOAT. And even older heads will say Pele's the GOAT, or Maradona's the GOAT.
Exactly.
So I get it, but there has to be a reason why there is a GOAT conversation. There's things that they've done collectively in that sport to say that this person's the GOAT. And most of the time it's championships and how they perform on the pitch or on the field or in the charts. There's got to be something that you have to compare them to each other to make them a GOAT, right?
But that's a fact. But there's also things that you cannot compare that makes them the GOAT. I say that also to say, I believe that Michael Jordan's the GOAT. I could give you my reasons why, and none of them have to do with championships. Whereas anytime I have this discussion with somebody, it's always, well, he's 6-0 in the finals. Like he played one-on-one in the finals. It was just him on the court.
True. It's not. You're right.
That to me is the least argument. Does it help? But it's the least argument that makes him the GOAT. But I can make an argument for LeBron, for even Kobe, who I don't think is even in a top 5 conversation, but another show for another day.
Wow. Stop.
I don't believe Kobe's in the top 5.
We're going to have a fight.
I can make an argument for all three of these guys and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for GOAT status. And there are similar reasons, and then there are reasons where it's like, well, Jordan was never that as good for as long as LeBron is. Whereas you just now made that a case against LeBron. I look at that as a positive. Jordan did more in less time, which is a positive, but LeBron lasted so much longer and is still one of the top players in the league.
Okay. Let me trump you there to add, and I get your point, but as eras change, so does the game. So the game that Jordan was playing was definitely different, definitely tougher, And there's a lot of things that they depended on their superstars. Whereas now we're in the league of load management or conserving yourself for certain periods of time so you can last longer. Again, I don't know for
Science is
sure. I'm not
also
going to
better.
go back.
The
What's that?
science is better. The science is also
Yes,
better.
exactly.
players
So
are
they can
also better.
heal. Yes,
Smarter.
everything has gotten better or
Mhm.
stronger or faster. Yes, in every sport, in any type of thing. That's what I'm saying. When you talk about that snippet of when Jordan was in the league, what he did in that frame, GOAT status to me. What LeBron has done can still be duplicated by others. That's why people keep on questioning.
No.
Oh, yeah, man. I'm telling you.
No.
Come on.
And
I
you're
honestly
talking
think
about.
there's.
Okay, hold on. Let me
I'm
say
saying no. Hold on. I said duplicated. I didn't say from people right now. I said
No.
somebody. When he retires, it could be Wemby. Wemby could honestly be called the GOAT if he goes on a run. This is his what, second year? He's already in the finals.
Right. So if Wemby
He
wins
can-
six championships, so he's better than Jordan.
If he wins, that's the thing though, he's already lost one. Jordan never lost one.
It boggles.
I'm just saying. No, hold on.
That you guys judge a team
hold on.
award and you award it to an individual. I don't understand.
Yes. No. Again, his team hasn't lost in a finals. That's what Jordan brought to the table. Same with Pippen, same with Kerr. All those guys, they didn't lose when Jordan was on the squad.
Mm-hmm.
Wemby has a squad, and they lost his first go. Again, it's his first one. If he wins 6, everybody's going to say, well, you lost that first one. When he wins that 7th one, then I'm like, okay. You won more than the greatest player that we think has ever played, right? And then on top of that, say all of a sudden he scores and outscores LeBron. Yes, you've now outscored the greatest scorer in that era. So yeah, I'm going to give you GOAT status. If he has to earn it.
So
he definitely has to earn it.
So if he gets 6, if he's 6-1, he's better than Jordan, or potentially.
No,
if he's 6-1,
he's potentially yes.
But there's so many factors on that. But let me not even get on that. What I really want to ask is, because again, this is also one of my arguments. People will say Jordan went 6 times, he won 6 times. True, very true.
Yes.
LeBron went 11 times. He went 11 times. Jordan didn't even go 11 times for us to know if he would have lost 5 out of those 11. Or, you see what I'm saying?
There's an asterisk. There's an asterisk, though, because he did leave the game. If he didn't leave the game, he probably would have won.
Again, more. I can make an argument for both of them. If I'm going for pro LeBron, I would say Jordan leaving the game preserved his body for longer than LeBron. Because LeBron played right through, never retired. Jordan retired 3 times. Took years off, literally years off of playing, if I wanted to make that argument. But that's not, to me, Jordan's strongest argument is that he's won Defensive Player of the Year. He's won MVPs multiple times. He's won Final MVPs multiple times. He's been on All-NBA first teams multiple times. He's been an All-Star numerous times. All of those things are individual achievements. It's an individual award that a single player can get without even good teammates. You could be on a terrible team and get almost all of these awards. Now, LeBron, however, has done these things. He hasn't won the 6 championships, but he's been to the mountaintop 10 or maybe I think it's like 12 times. I don't even remember how many times. But Jordan didn't have no, sorry, I shouldn't say that. They say that Jordan locked up championships to the point where nobody else in the league was winning. Right? Big accomplishment.
Is that true?
That's
is
a
that
fact.
True?
That's a fact.
Yes.
LeBron did the same thing. There's men
Went
in
to
the East
championship.
who could never win because LeBron
Right.
was there. Our beloved Raptors are one of those teams. Could not get past this guy. Not the entire league, but he doesn't play the entire league. So, but still, not the entire league, quote unquote, like
Right.
Jordan did. But Jordan did it
Right.
6 times. This guy did that 10 times. I don't understand. And it's not, here's the thing. It's 10 times in a row. In a row. Like, it's not, no. I did 3. I'm going to take 2 years off. I'm going to do 3 more. I'm going to take 2 years off. It's 10 in a row, Toks. That's a decade of a conference not getting a chance at a championship. Never mind winning one. They didn't even get a shot. And people act like because he lost more than he won, that it's not an accomplishment. I don't get it.
So what you're saying, he's happy for second place?
What I'm saying, he's happy to be better than everybody else except for the championship. The champion.
So, okay. Listen to what you said. He's happy to be
He's
beating everybody else.
Everybody else, yes. Except for the
So
champion.
then why can't he accept that he's not the GOAT then?
Because that is a team award. As an individual, I am better than Michael Jordan. That's in his mind. And I don't think he's lying. I think he's telling the truth. I'm not, I just didn't have better teams than Michael. That's what you guys, what I don't get.
We'll say pound for pound, he's the greatest athlete to ever play in sports. Well, I'll say that. The greatest.
Also, I didn't even have better
specimen.
I didn't have the coaches Jordan had.
He was the coach.
Fine, but I didn't have the coaches Jordan had. I haven't had a Hall of Fame coach ever. He's never had a Hall of Fame coach. Well, maybe, you know what? Spoelstra is going to be a Hall of Fame coach, and that's arguable whether Spoelstra is a Hall of Fame coach because of LeBron and the Heat.
Yeah, it's kind of one or the other. It's flip or flop on that one.
But he didn't.
But here's the thing, though. Okay, but the thing is with the coach take is that LeBron has been playing when most of those coaches who are technically in the hall weren't coaching anymore. Like, you have a newfound. Who's in there? Who's coaching in this era that could have been?
Doc Rivers is going to be a Hall of Fame coach.
You think so?
He's guaranteed going to be a Hall of Fame coach. Guaranteed.
Okay, I mean,
he's a Hall of Fame. I think he's more of a Hall of Fame coach than he is a player, to be honest with you.
Yes, he's not a Hall of Fame player, but I don't know if he's a Hall of Fame coach yet. Well, he's not. Okay, the thing is, he's not there yet. Right. Okay. Go on. Who else?
But we're talking about who was in his era.
That he's fought against or played with or whatever.
Kobe and them guys at that time. Oh, not Phil Jackson, but when Phil Jackson was gone.
Wasn't it Harris or whatever?
Del Harris was before Phil Jackson.
What was he?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was. Pretty sure.
Let's see the LA coaches. I'm gonna pull up.
Rick Adelman, Larry Brown. Who else am I going? There's a lot of coaches that are Hall of Fame coaches, bro. Even Lenny Wilkins was coaching when LeBron was playing. Old
Pat Riley, Jerry West, Del Harris, Kurt Rambis, Rudy Tom Donovan, Mike Brown.
Tom Donovan coached LA? I don't remember that.
Yeah, I think he did it like 1 year or something like that.
Mike Brown is probably going to make it.
Frank Vogel. What's that? Mike Brown?
Yeah.
Now he probably will.
Yeah,
now he probably will.
Frank Vogel, no.
Byron Scott. He's a Hall of Fame player, but he's not a Hall of Fame coach.
He's going to be a Hall of Fame coach.
Phil, Magic, Bill.
But I'm also even talking about throughout the league at the time that over.
No, I got you saying. Well, that's what I'm saying.
There's definitely not a lot more, but there's definitely Hall of Fame coaches that were coaching at that time that he never had the opportunity to.
We've got the Phil Jacksons, we've got the Pat Rileys, we've got what's his
even
face
Steve
there?
Kerr is going to be Hall of Fame coach
from Detroit. Yes, that's for sure. That's for sure. Yes, that's 100% true. Yes. I'm just trying to see.
Greg
There you
Popovich,
go. Pop,
easily.
Pop. Yes.
There's a few,
There's one
man.
person that
There's
he
a
played.
few.
Yes. Okay.
There's a
I
few,
can
but
give you
no, he
that.
didn't get to play for none of these guys.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay. Now,
He
okay.
just didn't have
Okay.
the team around him that Jordan had. Again,
But he
let me
had
just
but
make
he
this
had the
very
team.
clear.
He had the team in Cleveland, and ego got the best of him, and he left. Then he had the team again.
He didn't have a team in Cleveland. What are you talking about? No, he didn't. That's why he left.
So Kyrie.
That was before. That's after he came back.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying the first time. I'm talking in general. He had a team at some point, and he left.
No, Kyrie
Miami.
left him. Kyrie left him. You forget?
What I'm saying is he left the organization because
he didn't, because the team was done. After Kyrie left, there was Love is not the same. Tristan Thompson is not the same. They didn't really have the infrastructure anymore. And he chose business. He chose business.
See, that's different. He chose business. Miami, he had the team.
Yeah.
He had a team. Probably a better team than the Bulls. Not gonna lie.
No, I probably
yeah.
Would. Being a Bulls fan,
yes.
I don't want to agree, but I probably would.
And I'm a Bulls fan, but because if you go tat for tat, man, Miami can step up against the Bulls 90s run, first 90s run. Mm-hmm. Hell yeah. So, I mean,
you know why
it's not like he didn't have the team.
You know why did he leave there? Because they weren't treating him like a superstar that he was. They weren't treating him like the leader of the team.
But that's the thing, though.
You guys kill me with this. You can't tell me that
no.
Didn't have the same thing.
No. I'm not. What I'm saying is, I know what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if he thought in a mindset that, you know what, I just want to keep on winning championships, I just whatever, he would be there still winning. Well, if that didn't get to him, because there was nowhere else that Jordan would go. No one would be able to afford Jordan on any other team.
No,
the persona,
true.
like the
that's also not true.
What team? Where would he go? He's not going to go to the Lakers.
He's being underpaid. Remember that Jordan was being underpaid.
Affordability based on what he was doing. Yes.
Even around the league, he wasn't the highest paid. He was the highest paid by endorsements, but not by his NBA salary. Is what I mean.
Okay, fair enough. And I believe,
to your point, though, I don't think he would leave because that's just not how they thought. Then it's not. That wasn't their mindset.
Okay, fair enough. We'll agree to that.
LeBron literally, and I'm not even going to say LeBron did it, but he is credited with starting that era of basketball where guys would go to different teams. He's credited with that. Yes. I feel like it started with
the super teams,
Boston Celtics, but man would say LeBron is the first guy to make it a public thing that he's leaving and he wants to go here and he's gonna build a team together and da. Fine, that's fine. I'm fine with that too. I'm fine. I don't. Again, I can make an argument for everything. I don't understand the theory that man want a man to stay in a place that treats him a way that he doesn't like.
I'm trying to figure out how bad are they treating him.
It's relative
to say, yo. That's what I'm thinking. It's a relative. It definitely is a relative situation. Right. But I'm thinking, what could be so bad? You're making probably $70 million with contract and endorsements. You're playing the game that you love, and you're saying that you're not being treated the way you should be treated. I'm trying to figure out what else is there that needs to be done. You have a whole bunch of control because he had control based on what Cleveland was saying. Coaches were bouncing on a regular basis. Players are being bounced on a regular basis based on the decisions that LeBron said. So tell me, what do you still need to stay in an organization that you can win multiple championships at?
Cleveland, again, we have to be clear on timeline and situation. Cleveland, I don't think was in a position to win multiple championships. I don't, especially when Kyrie left. If Kyrie stayed, I don't think LeBron would have left as early as he left. He needs LeBron wanted a running mate. Jordan is not any different. He needed a running mate. Kobe's not any different. He needed a running mate. Kobe's out of the three of those, Kobe probably had the one time or a couple of times where he won without real running mates.
Yes. That's why people say Kobe is number two, because no matter who he was with, he still was Kobe.
Found a way to
You had
win.
Shaq there. Oh, yeah, exactly. You had Shaq there. Okay, well, let's win some championships, Shaq. And also, no, Shaq's gone. Okay, yo, pal, let's go win some championships. You got some championships, right? Lamar was there, right? Ron Artest was there, right? Guys that you would never see. It wasn't, but those guys they were on other teams before, and they couldn't get it done, right? Kobe brought them to that team. That aura, that ethic, the work ethic is what brought these players to him. He didn't ask for them. Yeah. I don't think he ever asked for a player to be sent to his team, right? So Kobe
Kobe was going to leave the Lakers if they didn't start building a better team around him.
Okay, yes, but he didn't ask for specific players.
People rewrite history. No, he didn't have to. He asked for help. And when people say, "Oh, LeBron is always asking for help," they conveniently forget.
I can never say no. I agree.
Jordan might be the only guy that didn't ask for help, quote unquote, but he didn't need to ask.
Because I was going to say he's a man who said, "Yo, if you want me here, you need." Again, he did it with his game. He was doing what he needed to do.
Not only that, the Bulls drafted Scottie Pippen and Horace Grant. They drafted.
Well, I believe they traded for Scottie. Scottie wasn't drafted to the Bulls, wasn't he?
Oh, well,
he was drafted to the Supersonics. Yes.
Yeah, you're right.
But they brought him over because they knew what he could do. Yes, I agree.
And he wasn't supposed to be what he became at all. Nobody knew.
Correct.
Nobody knew.
No one knew.
Beyond Rodman and Kukoc, they didn't really ever go out and get nobody too crazy. And Rodman's a pretty crazy pickup.
I think I disagree. I think they did, but it was under the radar. Man like Steve Kerr was on the Spurs.
No, he's on the no stars. Because role players always get picked up. Role players are always going to go and come.
Okay, true. So, but who was a true star other than Rodman and Kukoc? They drafted, right?
No,
other than Rodman.
I don't think they drafted him. I think they signed him. I don't.
Well, signed him from Europe.
Yeah,
I think they signed him from. Okay, they got him. But I'm saying that he wasn't on any other team before.
No,
he got to the Bulls. That's what I'm saying. So other than Rodman, Rodman's the only superstar that was sought out to go play on the Bulls. Everybody else was just kind of systematically put into place. Yep. Yes. Yeah. That's a true GM. We watched The Last Dance. That was ruthless, but he did it the proper way. He put guys in place. He might have got some input from Jordan, but he never said, "Yo, man, I can't win with these guys. I can't do this. Find some players for me." Oh, man, what do you mean?
A, we don't know that. I don't believe he did, but we don't know that. We don't know that. B, how do we penalize the guys that didn't have good GMs? And they had to go and say, "Yo," not even good GMs. Yes, good GMs, but also not good organizations. Because Cleveland before LeBron was not a good organization. After LeBron, they're not a good organization. They're in the same spot.
That's not true.
They're better now. They're better now.
They're better now.
They're better.
The LeBron effect
within the last couple of years.
Effect. Yes. But again, I mean, you can say that for perfect example for this is Giannis, right? Giannis he has had a good team multiple years. They just couldn't get over the hump. Are we blaming the organization or are we blaming Giannis for not winning a championship?
I want to ask you the question. What's your answer?
It's Giannis.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
I'm telling you, if you can't work with the team that they give you, I'm sorry. That's on you.
Bro, there's no...
Again, he had a good team.
Yeah, we just finished having the conversation about the Knicks and saying it takes luck and preparation to win a championship. You cannot expect one man...
I'm talking about the superstar. I'm talking about the superstar.
I know, but this is where the delusion of the Jordan GOATness comes into me. You cannot attribute 6 championships to Jordan alone, man. He didn't do it by himself.
You're right, but he was the staple, though. He was the
Yes,
main guy.
as a result of everybody chipping in, Jordan was
Mhm.
able to win 6 championships. So if we can say that, how do we then turn around and say, "Oh, Giannis, it's your fault that the team doesn't win"? That doesn't make sense.
When
If you can't give all the glory to one guy, how do you give all the blame to one guy?
they do that with coaches, coaches get fired because of what they do in the playoffs or what they do on the court. That's not fair to them. They're not playing. They're not playing the
Thank you for
game.
saying that. Thank you for saying that, because my answer to you was going to be, but anybody with common sense know that coaches are scapegoats. That's all. They're just
Yes,
scapegoats.
they are.
It's not their
And
fault.
then
They're scapegoats.
it.
So that's what we're doing with Giannis, right?
I
With
don't
that
know.
idea. It's the same
I don't
thing.
know if it's. I don't think he's the scapegoat because again, there's.
Scapegoat. Heavy
I
is
don't.
the
I don't
head.
think. I don't
Don't
think
get
no.
me wrong. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. But to literally say that and believe, it's not even to say, it's to believe that it is solely his fault while they haven't won again is nuts. Knowing that Damian Lillard came there and Damian Lillard got hurt. Knowing that they traded Drew Holiday to their rival who then wins the championship. Knowing that there are Kawhi Leonard comes to the Raptors. And Joel Embiid is on the these are the things that there's things that happen that Giannis cannot control. He has no
Okay,
control
but
over
okay,
the
but now
Milwaukee Bucks.
I'll rebut that though. My rebuttal is Kobe Bryant.
I don't
Kobe did
understand.
it
Kobe did
because
what?
Kobe took the crown and straightened it. He says, "Okay, if I'm the man, I'm going to make sure we're still the top dogs, and I'm going to prove it." And he did with a whole bunch of new people. So the second coming team, the second B team that he won with, they weren't as good as the first team with the
No, they
Shaq
didn't have
squad.
Shaq. They didn't have Shaq.
Exactly. Right. They didn't have the Shaq squad, but he
But
still did it with the next man up. He still played the way he played with no excuses.
hold on.
And he kept on playing at that
You're
level
romanticizing.
until he retired.
But you're
I mean,
romanticizing, brother.
we were spoiled to see this man play.
But you're romanticizing.
Determination.
You're romanticizing.
Okay, go on.
You're forgetting the point of Kobe had to threaten the organization that I'm leaving unless you guys get me some help. Giannis is doing the same thing, and the team is saying, "Okay, we're going to trade you." You see the difference?
Well, no. He's been asked. He got help, but he had help. He had a good team.
What's the team? Give me the team again.
Oh, you mean the team with him and the Lopez boy? Yeah.
Okay, you're forgetting that what's my boy's name? Middleton got hurt the next year.
Okay, circumstance. Yeah, circumstance.
Can't control that. Your running mate, that was his second best player on the team.
So what do you do? What do you do? You now step up. Because again, Magic
Kobe
is the same
couldn't
situation.
do that.
Hold on, Magic did it. Kareem was gone. And what did he do? What did he do? He stepped up.
Magic had James Worthy.
No, don't give me that. No, I'm telling you, the superstar stepped up. Magic was not even the superstar, but he is the superstar. He says, you know what? I'm going to take this.
I'm not telling you you're wrong. What I am telling you is that even when you step up, you still have to win as a team. So even if you step up, the team has to step up. You can't just expect what that's like.
Okay, but as a superstar, you make the other players play that much better. And that's why Jordan was there. That's why Kobe was there. Shaq was there. That's why Magic, those guys made the guys around them play that much better. LeBron too. We'll say LeBron too. Kevin Garnett, same thing. Those guys made the guys around them better. So why can't a superstar like Giannis do the same thing?
But we're assuming that he hasn't because he hasn't won a championship. This is what I'm trying to say. If you're keeping the franchise afloat with a bum-ass team, you stepped up and you made the team better. Because the team without you would be a sinking ship. They'd be the worst team in the league. So for them to even be in contention because of you is you stepping up. And not only that, the other point I had to say is there's another myth to me, which is also amazing to me, that Jordan made his teammates better. in the sense that Jordan was so good that it made the game easier for his teammates, I agree with that.
Yes,
But in
yes,
the
yes,
sense
yes.
of leadership, I don't agree with that. I think
He
Jordan
was
might have
not.
been one of the worst leaders ever in
Jordan
NBA.
was Jordan. They called him. Yeah, Jordan was bad. Jordan was bad. His
I think he's one of
attitude
the
was
worst.
bad. We all know
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But
I think
it's
he's one of the
because of
worst.
his determination to win fueled
Yes,
him more than
yes.
being a role model or a leader for a squad. But
Results,
again,
results. Yeah,
yes. So, but the team says, okay, we'll let him say whatever he wants. Okay, maybe in the locker room he was saying that he was the GOAT, but he wasn't saying that. He wasn't going on the air and I'm the GOAT, I'm the best. No, he says he's going to prove it with what he does on the court, and he did, time after time. He didn't have to say anything.
I think
He
LeBron
didn't have
did
to
both.
say anything.
That's what I'm saying. I think LeBron did both.
It-
I don't.
it's one
Again,
thing. It's one
we,
thing. It's
we
one thing to say. It's one thing to do it, and another thing to say it. Right?
yeah.
Because
Well,
a
we
lot, a
want
lot of people can say that. A lot of people they can say Shaq can say he's one of the GOATs, but he never says that. He will never
bro.
say that.
These men say all the time that I was the best player on the floor tonight, or I believe I was the
Well,
best.
that's
I was the best
okay.
player out
But-
there. I believe that I was the
Okay.
best player. I believe that I'm the best player every time I step on the court. Because if I
Yes,
don't,
yes.
I would not make it
Okay.
this far. So,
Okay. So now I'm saying now
this is
if
what. Hold on, wait 1 second.
mhm,
My thing
mhm.
is, my issue is when people, we can't have it both ways. We want them to be extremely confident while also being extremely humble. I don't understand this thing. I don't get that. I don't think that's a perfect person that you're asking for. And
Yeah, okay. Okay.
that's a
You're right. You're right
utopian.
there.
Yeah, a
You're
man
right.
is. If I'm going to be extremely confident, you can't tell me I'm not the best player that ever walked this earth. You can't tell me. And I don't even believe this. I'll even put it in a different context. Nas is my GOAT rapper of all. Do I think if I got on a track with Nas rapping that I could beat him? Hell yeah. Hell yeah, I believe that. In my heart of hearts, I believe that. Now, to your point, would I say that before getting on the track with Nas? Probably not. Just because A, I want to make sure he's going to do the track. And B, what if I don't live up to the potential? But if we do the track and people think, hey, you know what, man? Slang got off on this. Yo, this kid Slang. Who's Slang? Slang.
I like where you're
And
going.
somebody
See,
puts the microphone in front of my face and says, yo, do you think you were better than Nas on that track? If I was to say no, I'd be lying. And I'm just trying to, it's a business move. It's not because I don't believe it. Now, roles reversed, being long winded, I apologize. Roles reversed, and I'm Nas. And somebody asked me if I was better than Slang Hugh on a track.
you're gonna say, yo, who's he? Who's Slang? I know.
Exactly.
I know what you're saying.
Exactly.
Okay. This is gonna segue into
I
something new,
believe
but I like that.
there's a lot of political correctness that I think goes into what fans want a man to say. And I get that. It's politically correct for him not to toot his own horn. But at the same time, we will vilify an athlete if they don't come out and say, yo, I'm the best, or I was the best tonight,
Okay.
or, you know,
Okay.
this
Okay.
is, I believe in myself. I believe my shot's going in every time I
Yes.
shoot it.
Okay.
That's
The
delusional.
segues to something. No, the segues to something nice because you're talking music now. We were going to talk a little bit about music, but okay.
Mm-hmm.
Remember. I think it was the I Shot Your remix
Mm-hmm.
with LL, and I think Cannabis was on there. And you remember,
Mm-hmm.
everybody says, "Yo, Cannabis ripped LA."
Yeah.
I mean, come on, LL was just, and I'm like, and everybody was wondering, yo, is Cannabis a better freaking MC than freaking LL Cool J?
Mm-hmm.
And LL, although he got beat up on that track, his own track, he's gonna stand his ground and say, yo, I'm better than that guy all the time. He's gonna say that 10 toes down. He's gonna say that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And because he has the following and the history and whatever, people are gonna say, yeah, man, it was just one track. It was just one track, maybe
Mm-hmm.
so, but in that track, He ripped him. And that started the whole big beef and feud. So yeah, if you can perform,
yes,
or sorry, outperform the person that claims that the guilt, then yeah, you stir up the controversy of, yo, is this guy really that good? Right?
mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm saying. So again, it could be subjective about the
Totally
GOAT.
is.
But
It
again,
is.
yes. But again, if you can show it, if you can prove it,
Mm-hmm.
then no one can say anything. No one can say anything to you.
Proof is like the existence of God. It depends on who believes in it.
But
Believes in
if
your
it's
proof.
okay, but
this is why. This is why.
okay, so then
Most
okay,
Jordan
wait.
fans.
So hold on. So if that's the case, you remember how I think they said that Drake is the GOAT with record sales and blah 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 because
Right.
right. And everybody's like, and you and I would say, yo, that's not true. I mean, it's not true. Michael Jackson still be selling records, and he's been dead for how long? So why is he not still the GOAT? How is Drake all of a sudden the GOAT? Yes, again, different eras, different timelines, different stipulations. So again, they're saying their proof. We're saying our proof.
Which is true. Which is right.
Who was right?
That's what, right.
Who makes
That's
that
my
decision?
Point. That's my point. So that's why it's subjective and relative. As we're going into the music conversation, as we press the segue button.
Yes, I'm definitely going to segue that right now. Hold on.
The irony is, I linked the two subjects together, is that you would say that Michael Jackson is bigger than Drake because he sold more records, right?
I wouldn't say that. I would say, well, if you're going statistically, yes, he definitely did. Sold more records, but at the same time, we're not selling records anymore, right? We're not selling records anymore. So that world,
Drake has bigger concerts than Michael Jackson had, arguably. I don't know, but I think so. I'd have to look it up, but I'm willing to probably put a $5 on it that Drake has probably had a bigger concert run than Michael Jackson.
I'm again, the reason why I say I don't know, because where does Drake usually play his concerts?
All over the world. What do you mean?
No, he's not all over the world. I don't think Drake has been all over the world.
Oh, he's definitely been all over the world, sir. You think Drake
in terms of sellout? No, what I'm saying is, I believe Michael has had bigger concerts and longer runs than Drake has.
Again, I don't know. I'm not going to argue, but I am
we'll
willing
look into that.
I would bet $5 on it because I think it's closer than either of us would think.
Okay, fair enough. I'm gonna look it up. Okay,
Drake has done more. Here's the thing. What we got to realize is that music is bigger than it ever was when Michael, and I say that in that it's bigger because it's more accessible, to your point. It's not going to the record store to buy it. So again, I can make an argument for both. Do I believe that Drake is bigger than, or is a GOAT over Michael Jackson? Hell no. Because I grew up on Michael Jackson. But if we're basing it on numbers, this is taking it back again to the Jordan LeBron argument. If we're basing it solely on numbers, it's possible that Drake is. So what is the criteria? When I say that Michael Jordan is the GOAT, or when I say Michael Jackson is the GOAT, it's the ear, it's the eye test. It's what I heard, it's what I seen. The accomplishments add to that or solidify my belief. But if we're talking about numbers, then Drake is bigger because he's bigger. That's just what it is. I don't know what to tell you. I don't agree, but if we're talking number, and again, if you talk to a 30-something and down, they might tell you yes, Drake is bigger. Because when I grew up, when I watched Drake's video, when Drake did this or Drake did that, they didn't live through Thriller on Much Music or MTV and the premiere
Okay.
of that. They don't know what that feels like. They weren't
Fair enough.
as it likes to be said, they weren't outside when this stuff was happening. They didn't
You're right.
know. They don't know what the feeling is when that impact hits. I'll say this last thing. Well, not last thing, but one of the things J. Cole said, when people want to say that they want to hear the old J. Cole, it's because it's not J. Cole that they want to go back to the time. It's their memories and attachment to J. Cole
Feeling.
at that time in their life. So if you, for example, I don't know, if Protect Your Neck comes out when your mom just scolded you, gave you a beating and told you to stay in your room, and you turn on the radio and Protect the Neck comes on and it instantly cheers you up, that's a core memory. You're not going to Protect Your Neck is going to be one of your favorite songs for the rest of your life because of how you felt in that moment. If Protect Your Neck came out today, for us, it wouldn't feel the same. It wouldn't have the same impact because we are in a totally different place in our life. It still would be good. It still might be a great song to us, but it wouldn't be the same as what it felt like when it came out in our 20s or in our teens.
Pulled up some facts.
No.
And asked the world of AI to help us out with this controversy or question about Michael Jackson and Drake. Now, major concert tours, basically his Bad Tour, Dangerous Tour, History Tour. The Bad Tour, 4.4 million fans. Dangerous, 4 million. History, 4.5 million. Whereas recent tracking puts Drake at around 6.2 million tickets sold total across his touring career before some special shows for you run. So
Michael Jackson was 4 million per concert or total?
Pretty much, yeah. So MJ's 3 main solo tours alone are around 12.9 million people in there, and which is way above what Drake reported in ticket counts. Now, again, that's criteria that we were talking about. There's a flip side to that because Drake put the revenue part, right? Mm-hmm. Drake brought in 779 million for the 6.2 million tickets that he sold, whereas MJ only brought in what is it here? 320.5 million. Mm-hmm. So again, dollar values change if we want to put inflation and whatnot, but you know what? But again, based on so on a person level, MJ wins, but on a money business level, Drake wins. So again, when you and then you're like 6'7". So so again, just like we've been talking about through sports, music, whatever, the criteria is always changing to kind of fuel this whole GOAT conversation. Whether it's the years in the league, that's a criteria. Whether it's the championships he's won, that's a criteria. Whether it's if they've lost in the finals, that's a criteria. If he's had MVPs, that's a criteria. Everybody has their own criteria, like you said. Just like how your nephew said, I'm like, yo, you're right on that.
Crazy.
Yeah, when you're right on that again. But now the question is there anyone in any type of industry that someone says this person's the GOAT and they take that as gospel? Like, is it going to be a former player? Is it going to be a former musician? Or is it going to be who can we say and understand based on what they're saying? Because they have either been in the game or been in the industry and tell you this is the reason why. Does it matter? Does it matter who says it? Like, say if Magic says it, or a collective panel, Magic, Bird, Isaiah, whatever, and they say, you know what, this, or we'll even throw in Charles Barkley. I mean, the eras are different, but again, these guys all played in a certain area, so they're going to definitely say one thing. But do you think there's a collective amount of people that can say, hey, this guy's the GOAT? And we're going to take that as, you're right, he's the GOAT.
I think there are people that have the ability to sway public opinion. But I also still think it's still, especially within the categories we're speaking of music and sports, a very generational thing. Because most NBA players say Jordan is the GOAT. Most do. And I think that's mostly guys who have played either played with Jordan, and up until playing with LeBron. Now, these kids who have played after Jordan and played with LeBron, and then after LeBron, I'm interested to see what they're gonna end up saying. Because I don't, because for example, SGA, as far as I know, Allen Iverson's his favorite player. Now I don't know if that means he thinks he's the GOAT, but I know that's who his favorite player is. So it's that would actually be interesting. But back to your question, I think it can affect or have influence on public public opinion, but I don't think it'll ever be the be all and end all of who is generally regarded, because there's no monolith on that. Like, not everybody's not going to believe one person is the GOAT of anything. Everybody's gonna there's different for everything. Anything. Denzel is the GOAT actor for most people, but then I think that's most black people.
Yeah, I was going to say, people might say Al Pacino,
Right? Or
yeah,
Robert De Niro, or
right, or even Tom Cruise or Tom Hanks.
These guys.
Yeah,
These guys.
I hear you saying.
So,
yeah,
but I think generally speaking, I think most people can agree that Denzel is the GOAT. Which I wanted to say this earlier, which is why I have adopted the way that I process it, the way that I can convey it is there's two lists for me. There is my list, who I actually like and believe is my personal GOATs. And then there's the deserving or public list. So there's the private and the public list. So
okay,
on the private list, Nas is my GOAT. On the public list, Jay-Z is the GOAT. And both of those make sense to me.
okay.
Music wise, Michael Jackson is probably the greatest artist of all time, in my opinion. But personally, I liked Prince better. And again, there's
I mean,
criteria.
I would think the same thing. For instance, in basketball, on a private level, Charles Barkley's my GOAT.
Mm-hmm.
On a public level, MJ's my GOAT. And it makes sense to me for that. When it comes to, I guess music is different, because I think MJ's my GOAT both privately and publicly. To me, again, that's just because of where I live. But and I think that's a good way to put it, because perspective is key, right? What's your reasoning?
Key.
Yeah, what's your reasons for it could differ from anybody else's reasons, right? Just like how you said, Paul George is this man's GOAT. Why? And he told you why. And you have to sit back and respect that, because that's his reasons.
As long as
I'm trying to figure out. Again, it has to make sense, though.
Some sense. It can't be he's my GOAT because I like his crossover. That's it.
Exactly, and that's what the young people are trying to say. The style of play makes them a GOAT, because he can cross a man, but he can't drop 12 points a game. That's not really GOAT status. So again, it all depends, I think, who's saying it. That's why I said, if there's a collective amount of people that we can trust their word as almost gospel, the high ab guys, again, the Walt Frazier's, the Shaqs, the Charles Barkleys, the John Stocktons. We can go into even the Magics and all that. Even guys like Stephen A. and all these Ernie Johnson, all these people, they would have a good view because they've seen the game
Right. Yeah.
in multiple eras. They've
Yeah.
observed good, bad, and ugly. So they can definitely tell us, hey, you know what? Pound for pound, this guy's the best. And again, and for every sport and for every type of leeway in terms of music, it could be boxing, because again, a lot of people say, oh, you know, Ali is the greatest. Well, no, he's not the greatest. People say Mike Tyson is, and blah blah blah. And like this, everybody has their reasons.
Okay, so not to cut you off, sorry, but
No, go ahead.
part of, as you bring up the Ali, we were having in a group chat, we were having a discussion about who the greatest Nick is, and the argument is Jalen Brunson now the greatest Nick, and my thing is, I think he's the greatest Nick, but he's not the best Nick. What I mean by that is that his accomplishments make him greater than every other Nick before him, pretty much, besides anybody else who won a championship as a Nick. But he's not the best player that they ever had.
Okay, again, criteria means something.
Right.
You're right.
Similar to Kawhi Leonard is probably the best Raptor we've ever had. Best player to play for the Raptors, most talented. But Kyle Lowry is the greatest Raptor, and he's not even close to the best player. Not even close. He's probably number 10 on the list of the best players we've ever had.
Based on who's gone through the system, yeah. You're right.
Well,
You're right.
You can't give Kawhi greatest Raptor, and he was here for 1 year. That doesn't make sense.
You're right.
To me,
you're right.
That's like saying
no, you're right.
That's like saying, you know, you're the greatest. You're the greatest father, and you're the greatest father ever, but you don't even talk to your kids. You talk to your kids for 1 year. Better yet, you raise them to 5. You're the greatest father for 5 years, but after 5 years old, they never see you again. You're not the greatest father no more, sir.
No, you're right. You're right. I like that. That makes sense. That makes sense. Okay. Do you want to dive into the Jay-Z thing?
We're over there, hour 32.
We can go seen nor seen.
One or the other. Flip the coin.
I mean, I don't mind a scene or no scene, because again, seen or more seen, I like that, because we can definitely talk about what we've seen and what we haven't seen. And you know, like I said, I haven't seen the stuff you suggested, but I was gonna point out something that I have actually watched, if you don't mind me starting.
I have an idea. We can amalgamate both. Go ahead.
Okay.
Tell me what you see.
Okay. So, in the podcast world, I've tend to watch more and learn more on how to do the show and kind of in terms of topics. But there's one show, and I know you've seen it. I've kind of shared clips about 154 with Godfrey and Akbar, African men who are kind of bringing Nigeria to that forefront and whatnot in terms of recognition and so forth. So, and I just recently watched, the first time in a long time, I've watched a full podcast from start to finish, and they had David Oluwolowo, and he's a British Nigerian actor. He was in Selma, he was in Reacher, he does a lot of other stuff. And the fact that this man left me in stitches, like, I didn't realize how good Nigerians are in storytelling. Like, they are probably funniest people, and they exaggerate. And all three of them, they're amazing. But that man, he reminded me of my dad telling me stories. That's how the culture is. And I'm like, if you sit down and watch that from start, you would just die. Like, especially if you're a Nigerian, because you'll say, yeah, my dad used to do that, or my uncle used to do that. I'm like, oh, my mom, yeah, I can tell you. Like, there's so many things that hit home. I could watch it 3 or 4 different times. I send clips to relatives in Toronto, and I said, hey, that's your mom. I said, yeah, but it's your mom too. And they're like, oh, that's your uncle. Yeah, that's my uncle. So it was just amazing. If you haven't watched, again, it was just a funny, just nostalgic show. Again, I wasn't thinking anything crazy about it, but I'm like, let me just, because I love my culture. I'm like, let me see what these guys. And it was funny from start to finish, from the food they talk about to the movies and shows they do to the experiences he grew up as a young kid, marrying outside of his race, all this stuff. I was just taking it. It was just very, very entertaining podcast. So if you have the chance
Okay.
to watch that
Yeah,
show,
let me check it out.
by all means, watch that. That was a good one for me.
I'm
So
gonna
yeah,
check
that
it
was
out.
the one recent one I watched. How about you?
So yes, we were flipping the coin, but I guess I could just use the Jay Z freestyle as my scene and more scene.
There you go.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, so I did watch it a couple of times, couple of clips. Um, Looked like a because I every year I want to go to Roots Picnic every year. I can't lie, and every year I'm like, do I want to spend that money? And every year the ticket goes up a
Where
little bit
is it?
higher in
Where is
Philadelphia,
it?
Philly. So every year it looks like an amazing lineup. So I'm always like, yeah, I wish I was there type thing. But to focus on the actual freestyle, I think it was brilliant in terms of promotion, in terms of Jay Z's return to the stage, return to music, all of that. I believe a potential project is coming up. So I think this is all a promo run because, and he also has, even if it's not, he also has the 2 day concerts in
Residency.
New York coming up. The Reasonable Doubt and In My Lifetime, I think it is, albums
Oh wow.
performances. But so it's also still a good promotion for even just that concert series that he's doing. Um, Technically, the actual freestyle, I've heard Jay Z do better. I wasn't super impressed by the skill level that he displayed because I think he's a much better rapper than he showed. But I also think he's trying to get a point across, which I think that definitely worked. It got people talking. It got the word out. Don't play on my name. All these people have been talking about me, and I'm going to respond right now. So kudos to him on those fronts. I think he put the rhymes together well. That so on and so forth. But again, for me, I've heard him be way more clever, way more intricate, way more everything, like meta everything. That it literally did at times, especially the way he was, even in the delivery, I didn't think was the greatest. The way he was pausing and stopping a lot of times, it definitely came across as like a real freestyle, like an old
Real
school
fun.
off
Yeah.
the head.
Mm-hmm,
I'm
mm-hmm.
writing this as I'm saying it type freestyle, which also it is a gift and a curse because I know he wrote it before he got there, so it shouldn't be as choppy as it seemed. So it took away from it for me, but it's always good to see the legends show that they still got it. And I think he at least reached that goal and that marker. He definitely showed us that he still has it. But I think he could have did better, and I think we'll see better coming up.
So it's more like a prelude to something bigger,
Yes, definitely a
possibly.
prelude to like the Summer Jam screen type vibe where he set up not ether oh my god, why did it just leave my mind? Takeover. He set it up by just saying he just gave us the Mob Deep diss, and then later on we found out he also disses Nas on this same track. So I think it's similar as some people would think that those lyrics are actually from a song that he's putting together or already put together, and he's gonna drop the second or in third verse maybe later on. But he definitely shot at a lot of people: Kanye, Nicki Minaj, um, Drake, uh, Dame Dash, Oskino, like the Jaguar Wright, like so many different names he took shots, and none of them were strays. They were all direct name
On
written on the bullet.
and I think it's the plan was twofold. One is to kind of grease the engine and get him back into the mix. Because two, he knows what era he's in. The world of social media is crazy. So the minute he does that, someone's gonna go sit back and say, "Yo, I gotta return this," and then they'll throw it on a social media thing, and then everybody will be his name will be trending. So
Yeah,
everything will be freaking setting
it
him up
worked.
for possibly a concert or album release or whatnot, and then boom, he's at the top of his game again, just because of a off the cuff freestyle that wasn't great. But because it's him, because it's Jay-Z, people are going to stand back and say, oh, he said that's about you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's get to the pen and the paper, whatever. And again, then he's back in the mix. I mean, he hit everybody. Man, female, hot, not, old, young. He went at everybody. So again, everybody's going to come at him. That's what he wants.
That's
right?
what he wants.
So now social media is going to be at a buzz. And you'll see people are going to start talking because again, we are the world in terms of getting information and knowledge. Someone's going to ask Drake, yo, what do you think about that diss?
100%.
You're gonna retaliate. Nicki Minaj, did you hear what Jay-Z said about you? And then all of a sudden, people will be in there. They'll say face at the beginning, and then all of a sudden they drop a freaking lyric or a verse or whatever and throw it on the internet, almost like an underground thing. And then all of a sudden they'll be talking about Jay-Z. Boom. Or maybe they start a collab. Boom. Still talking about the man. And then boom, he comes back with whatever album he has. There's a method to this man's madness because he's not dumb. Jay-Z is not. He is a smart businessman, probably the greatest rapper of all time, but definitely an amazing businessman. So he knows the system. So he's only doing something because he's already 10 steps ahead, knowing the result of what he's going to do and what it's going to bring to him. Again, he's playing these guys. He's playing these guys very, very easy. And someone's going to take the bait. Could be Kanye. I don't know who's going to be first, but someone's going to take the bait and start something. And then boom, he'll be in the mix right now. And then he'll be all over. Like, again, I don't know what he's going to really do or say because they don't have the whole MTV or BET or whatever like that. They go, talk about whatever's going on. He probably just throw it on his own thing. Or maybe he go Joe Budden. I don't know. I don't think Joe and them talk. So, but again, he's going to go on.
I think it's going to be raps back and forth. Just raps.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's, because neither Drake or Kanye will do an interview maybe, but for Drake and Jay-Z, I think neither of them do interviews that often. So I think there's going to do a lot of
exactly. It's going to be verbal tennis, Someone hits a shot and then you're going to say, somebody's going to bounce out there. It reminds me of the whole Jay-Z and Nas, the Ether thing. When that was happening, as much as there was interview places, whatnot, they just kept on throwing back and forth. Right. And that's how it is, right? Rap battling is back again. Hopefully, and maybe that's what his plan is, to bring it back.
Maybe.
Right? He thinks probably the product is stale and he's trying to spice it up. Right? Man like Drake is dropping 3 albums in one shot, dominating the charts.
Both of them are a little more selfish than trying to elevate the game. They're just trying to elevate themselves.
Yeah. I mean, he's been out of the game for a while, but again, he doesn't need to do anything anymore. He's got one of the most beautiful women in the world doing some stuff. Okay. I think he was just bored, really. He was just bored.
Possibly.
That's it. Yeah, man. That's it. Well, that's it. That's all for us, folks. Yeah, it's been a minute, but it's been a good minute. Actually, a good hour and 42 minutes. But hey, it's all good. Got some good stuff. Good banter. Hey, and again, folks, you know what we want you to do. Like, comment, subscribe, share, tell your people that we hear. And again, we're talking about things that you and I talk about, and people will call you and we'll talk about it, in your chat groups, talk about it. I've got people watching the show asking me to talk about things that we were talking about on their show. I'm like, okay, sure, we can do that. No problem. And we will. But again, put it out there. Just put it on the show. Put it on the comments. Hey, what do you guys think about this? What are flat earthers or dinosaurs or thunderstorms? Talk about something. Whatever, man. We're here for you, man. We're here. And we're definitely going to keep on doing it. We're enjoying it. And it's getting better. Quality is getting better. So again, give us some time and some grace. We're still perfecting this craft and it's always going to get better. As you can see, if you saw us from the Slang and Toks show back in 2017, when we were using weird laptop cameras and horrible microphones, to where we are now, shoot. Humble beginnings. We're still here and we're still going to produce we're still going to produce that content for you guys. That being said, that's it. That's all for us. I want to thank my man Slang. Always, always, always a pleasure because they say he is the man. He is the GOAT. Well, I think people say he's the GOAT. Yeah.
That's why he's the GOAT. The
I
GOAT.
say,
He's the GOAT. So,
I say I'm the GOAT. Say something.
Who's going to challenge him? I mean, we have to set the criteria. No, we're not going to go there. We're not going to go there.
You just twist lip. Say something.
All right, folks. That's it. That's all. We're out.
Man. Yeah, man.
Peace and love.
Peace.